Hey, Wild Ones. This is your girl, Taylor Wilde. Just reminding you to please subscribe to the Wild On YouTube channels. Don't forget to rate and review and subscribe wherever you enjoy podcasts. That's right, Wild On with an E.
Just like me.
Today's guest is a farm girl through and through. She likes wrestling, horses, chickens, throwing bales, and charging posts. She's a professional face breaker, daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and a free bird forever. Ladies and gentlemen, my girl, Miranda Gordy. So I should have realized when I looked you up, but you are the sister of Ray Gordy?
I am.
Oh, that's adorable. So I was in developmental with Ray.
Oh, really?
So you guys are a full-fledged wrestling family.
Yeah, pretty much now. I have a younger sister and I'm trying to talk her into it so we can be like, for real, a full family of wrestlers.
Oh my God. Now, would you want her to be like a faction with you, or you want her to do her own thing?
Well, whatever she would want to do, but I think we would make an awesome tag team.
Yes, girl power. But Ray's retired now, is that right?
Yes, he is retired and he's living in Georgia. He's a police officer now.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Eric Perez, another wrestler that we are in developmental with, he's a police officer and I'm a firefighter, and I know a few other of the guys who are trying to take the first responder route. It's really interesting.
That is interesting.
I would never think Ray was going to be a cop. That's bizarro.
I know, and he's like all about it, like SWAT team even.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I guess it's the adrenaline rush.
Probably. That's what I assumed, is you went from that high and somehow you got to still, but at least it's like for good, like you're doing a good thing.
I think it's really interesting how many second generation, third generation wrestlers there are that are women now. It's really changing.
Women in general are really like, it's booming, it's the time of women, and yeah, definitely tons of second generation wrestlers out there now.
Now, what does your family think about you being a wrestler, as it is a heritage thing in your lineage?
So Ray has helped me a lot, anytime I have questions, or him just kind of guide me, because he's, been there, done that. And of course, Michael Hayes has helped me for the most part whenever he can. My mom is like, she was there through it with my dad. And so she's like, if this is what you want to do, and she supports it. And
Cool.
like I said, I'm trying to get my sister involved and my family. So I live in Missouri, but I have family in like Arkansas and Tennessee and Georgia.
Okay.
So they like it because I see them more often now, because I can travel for work. So
that makes sense.
So everyone's super supportive of me doing it and just like living my best life, which is what I'm doing.
Good.
As long as I'm happy, they're supportive and they're happy for me.
Good. As any family should. And I'm sure they have all the typical concerns, but they wouldn't be your family if they didn't.
Right.
Now, was there anything before wrestling that you thought you might take the path towards? Did you have any outside hobbies or any other sports that you really wanted to pursue, or academically anything?
So before wrestling, I actually lived on a ranch and we rescued horses. Like people put them in auctions when they don't need them or they have too many something. They put them in auctions and they get shipped to Mexico or Canada to kill pens for meat, and you can rescue them. And some of them we took from the auction, some of them we just kind of came about, but we gave them a better life and would give them better homes and stuff like that. And not just horses. I had like rabbits and chickens and, all kinds of animals. And speaking of animals, my cat almost went into the camera. So yeah, that's kind of what I was doing before wrestling was like the ranch life and rescuing horses and cows and stuff like that. Just the animals was it's always been my passion is animals. So just doing that. And so now I somehow fell into wrestling. Like obviously I've been here my whole life, but I had someone reach out and just kind of bug me about it. I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. And then I like fell in love. I still, now that I'm in Missouri, I still live on a big farm, a working farm, and I still have one horse.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully by the springtime, I'll have some more chickens.
So tell me about farm life, because that's really interesting and foreign to me. I don't know a ton about it. When I think of farm life, I think of waking up at like 4:30 every morning and getting ahead of the game. Like, what would your day look like on the ranch?
So when I at like full operation or whatever, waking up at like 5.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have a choice. The rooster would be waking you up. They start crowing at like 4:30. And so you're up at 5 and, feed and water them and then feed and water like all the other animals. And that takes a couple hours, just depending on what you got to do with them. And then go off to like my shoot job at the time and then coming back home and kind of doing it all at the end of the day.
Wow.
It's, if you have like a full-time job on a ranch or farm, that's obviously what you're doing. Like if you like where I'm at, they grow corn and they raise cattle. Okay. So I don't do that part. That's not, but they work all day. They get up early and they work all day. Like right now it's snowing and they're out there moving hay for the cattle to have. Wow. So I just have my horse right now. So she's got her hay and she's taken care of. She's got her little blanket on and everything, but I don't do the hard stuff right now.
It seems to be a common trend with a lot of women, I think, in wrestling and probably in general. But I know Aaliyah, she's a big equestrian. Her dad was a jockey. And Mickey, she lives on a ranch and she's got a few horses. Do you find like a spiritual element looking after your horses? Like, is it very like relaxing for you? Is it like a safe haven kind of thing, or it's just more like a passion?
Oh, both. I mean, obviously like horses are cool. Like they're a 1,200 pound animal and you can they're very smart. So it's just interesting to be around them because they know like body language and they know they can feel you and they're super intelligent. So of course, being on one and be able to control one, that's kind of an adrenaline rush, and just, of course, I like animals in general. So just being able to pet the fur and stuff like that and see how beautiful, watch them run and see how beautiful they are. And riding is just, there's nothing else like it. You get to just sit on this big thing and you work together. Right. So it's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Sounds like it's a real, like being one with the universe experience.
Right. Yeah. It is. You're like in tune with nature and like a Disney movie type of thing.
Just like, oh.
Exactly.
That's what I would be doing, riding a horse, which is why I don't ride horses. But it sounds magical. It really does. So I know you said that someone reached out to you and started prodding you, and that was kind of when the switch flipped. But there's got to be a little bit more to that. Like, besides having someone poking you, what was the moment when that person was prodding you that you were like, maybe this is for me? Maybe this is like the missing element. Was it something in the back of your mind or?
Yeah, kind of. Just where I was at like obviously I had a lot going on and this it took away from it. And okay. I guess that's kind of what I became addicted to or whatever. So the big moment, like I went to one because the Von Erich boys were at a Dallas show and I was like, you know what, it would be nice to go see them and a couple other people I knew and everyone was super nice and they're like, oh, we're so glad you came out. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So I went to a couple more and I got a manager spot and I got to like punch somebody. we were in this big stadium. Of course, like I punched the person in the crowd, like just, pops. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think I could do more of this. And I was like instantly hooked. So that was the big moment that really, I'm like, nope, I'm going to start training now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to I'm in it. I'm never not in it. Even when I try to escape it, it somehow kind of finds its way. So might as well either monetize it or make the best of it,
Right.
So that's what I've been doing ever since.
Oh, that's cool. So how long has it been now?
I started training in September of 2018.
Okay. So you're well on your way now.
Yes.
So I know from Natty and, a couple other women that are second, third generation wrestlers, it's really wonderful to be associated with your family, but sometimes it can be a little frustrating because you're your own entity and, every interview might circle back and talk about your heritage. Is there anything that you'd like our listeners to know about you that they might not know otherwise because they can't find it on the internet or they just make assumptions? Is there anything you'd like them to know?
I don't know. I'm usually really open. One thing I hardly ever put out there, I'm actually a mom. So
oh, me too.
I have a 10-year-old. Just mostly, obviously safety. And I know kind of growing up with a wrestler parent, people will sometimes, and I don't think they mean harm, they'll be a little bit intrusive. So a lot of things, obviously, personal life, you kind of keep to yourself in general and everyday things, just so people aren't so intrusive and stuff like that. I guess that's probably the biggest fact that I just don't throw out there a lot.
I think that's genius because when you have people that are hateful and spiteful and jealous, they will pick apart anything they can find about you on the internet and they will flip it and manipulate it. So I think that's very smart. You protect you and you give what you're comfortable giving to the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Cause you never know. I would hate for someone to try and find her or just be hateful because sometimes moms get the worst critiques, there's no perfect mom, and people just for no reason, and so I just I guess that's a big fact that I don't always throw out there.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I respect that. I really do. Mom to mom. I get it. I salute you. There's really nasty people out there and there's a lot of good people out there, but you got to protect it from the what ifs.
Exactly.
Now you grew up obviously with wrestling around you. What is your favorite era of wrestling? 80s, 90s, 2000s?
So what I watch the most personally is my dad's era.
Okay.
That's what I try to emulate my style and stuff, kind of the old school. And I like it because not a lot of people do it now. So, and I find that the most interesting. However, I was a 90s kid. I grew up in the Attitude Era and I love some Stone Cold and The Rock and China. And so when I was a kid, that was my jam. I love the Attitude Era. I was, all about it. And that, of course, I think that was kind of the biggest moment in wrestling, in my opinion.
For sure.
So just topping that, I don't know if it'll ever be done. I mean, wrestling's still huge and we're at a boom right now, but the Attitude Era, recreating that will never happen.
I agree. And the money, there was just so much bloody money back then.
Yes.
But like you say, wrestling always ebbs and flows and we're on a high right now. So now is the time to seize.
Absolutely. It's at an all-time high. It kind of went down and now I joined at the right time. I got started, of course, with the women's evolution at all-time high and just, AEW's come in the last couple years and WWE's doing good things and it's at a boom. So I think I joined at the right time.
I agree. And I think it's really exciting specifically for women. There's so many different kinds of women coming in right now, different backgrounds. And I think the coolest thing as someone who's 36 years old, and I've been in the business since I was 19, age is kind of irrelevant as a female now, which was a huge thing 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, I hope it is because I'm in my 30s. So
yeah, girl.
I'm still I am still healthy. I'm still competing, and nothing, thankfully, has happened yet. So, I mean, as long as you're good to go up in your 40s, and maybe I'll find something else to do by 50s.
No
but
way,
as you
keep
see
going.
the men doing it, you see the men. I've
Yeah.
seen, older men, like almost seniors. Why can't women, as long as they're healthy enough to do it? Absolutely.
We just have to keep pushing. We have to bond together as women, and women that are aging gracefully into our 40s, 50s, 60s, and say, well, why the fuck do we have to stop? Look at Ric Flair. Look at, anyone in their golden years. The only people that are stopping us are us, because we're listening to likely men saying, you're too old. Hit the road, toots. We have to just hold our ground.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think if we just keep doing it and like don't bring it up, they'll kind of like, no, as long as we're entertaining and the fans will have us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But truly, in the same vein, like in 2022, what kind of management is going to come up to you and be like, ooh, so, we're, you're kind of getting to that age. Like, I'd love to like in an HR world, I'd love to see that happen now.
Right. Like, I wish you would, right? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, please bring it. Now, being a farm girl and growing up in the business, did you ever acquire a nickname that's kind of stuck?
Oh, a nickname.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, besides like the wrestling nicknames, the monikers and stuff, I've never really had a nickname. Isn't that weird?
Maybe because you come with you're part of a natural family faction, so they probably.
Sure, people call me Gordy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because
I called Ray Gordy forever, to the point where I was like, "What's Gordy's real name?"
Right. That's it. One of my friends actually made a joke the other, like I said Miranda and Gordy, and I meant like my boyfriend and Gordy. so like, that's not your full name. Yeah. So I guess we can call that my nickname is Gordy, even though it's my last name.
Perfect. Now, wrestling, it takes so much out of us, and it's really competitive, and it's completely all-consuming when you're in it, especially when you're trying to go for a contract. Has wrestling made you cry yet, whether it was tears of joy or negative tears?
Wrestling has made me cry several times, even before I was in it. Yeah, sometimes it does get frustrating, physically, mentally, and I kind of have like the odd thing where I'm a second gen, and so there's the pressure of my family name, like my brother and my dad. But also, my dad's not here to help me, so there's more pressure. That kind of makes me a target. It's kind of odd. Like, I wish he was here, and so no matter what I do, he'll never see my achievements, and that kind of hurts sometimes. And so that's a little frustrating. And then you have people that just constantly want to use the name, like for their own, their own entertainment, pleasure, or to get over or whatever. And so that sometimes it gets a little frustrating because you got to weed the people out. And like I said, I've been very blessed to not be hurt physically too bad. But after taking that first bump, like before I started training, I'm like, oh. So physically, it's been mostly mentally, yes, frustrated with stuff. And it's just hard. Even if I wasn't second generation, it's a pretty tough sport. You have people that they want to get in front of you, and it's kind of hard to pick the good people out sometimes. And and I assume it's with any job really that you're trying to compete for a position and a higher pay and stuff like that. You're just having to fight over it. You don't have to, but people do,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so I've definitely shed plenty of tears, and obviously growing up in it with the stuff with my dad, and after he passed, I was still in it doing the memorial stuff and all the honor type things. And so wrestling's been making me cry my whole life.
Oh, baby. Well, I will say, I think it's really interesting and important to bring light to the fact that although people think, oh, you're a second, third generation wrestler, like you just have a spot, if you do have a spot, there's so much more pressure on you because you're not just representing you, you're representing a family member or multiple family members in your case. And I think people really need to recognize that you have extra pressure on you. And then plus you're a woman and, you're, like you said, your dad's not on this earth plane with us, but honey, he is with you. He is so with you every time you step in the ring and everything you do. But I know it's hard because he's not here. Oh, pardon me. My phone should be on silent. I got a new iPhone and I'm having a total old lady moment with it. I don't know how to use it at all.
That's yeah, I have a new Galaxy and I'm like, where is the headphone jack? Like I was saying, so yes, I need to invest in the C because you never see that. Like I'll have to order it online. C headphones. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's all this new technology.
It's too much. If you could organize a dream match right now, what would your dream match be? Whether it's man, woman, anything.
Ooh. Dream match. Mm-hmm. Really, really, ultimately, I would make Ray have a match with me.
Yeah? Oh, that's so cool.
I know, right? I've been begging him since I started. I'm like, can you just come back one night?
Oh, I love that.
Make him get in the ring with me. But really, I look up to all the second gens, mm-hmm. boys and girls. Charlotte would be really cool and Natty would be super cool.
Yeah.
I've somewhat worked with Brian Pillman Jr. I've never wrestled. I managed him once, but having a match with him, if he does intergender, anything that makes sense. But I would love any second gen match.
I think that's really cool. And I love the idea of you versus Ray, brother versus sister. Bring it on. I'd book that.
I think it'd be a draw. Absolutely.
Totally. I'm interested. I would buy it online if I couldn't see it in person. Now, obviously, you're very fit. The work you do on the farm, what you do with your horses, and then I'm sure you frequent the gym. What is your relationship like with the gym? Is it 5 days a week? Is it... Tell me.
Yeah, 5 days a week. Obviously, I get a good workout, lifting hay bales and, stuff like that here. I was driving posts earlier and...
Just driving posts, no big deal.
Yeah. I'm at the gym 5 or 6 days a week. I try to hit it when I can on the road. Sometimes you just don't have time or, you get done with a show and you take a lazy Sunday and then, you got to get work done. So it's a lazy Monday too, or at least not a gym Monday,
Yeah.
And so I try for 5 or 6 days a week. Sometimes it's more like 4.
Fair enough.
But it's definitely consistent. Yeah.
Good. Now, are you a morning person or a late night person?
Oh, I am a night owl. I don't even like that. Unless I'm staying up into the morning, then I don't like mornings. I am a night owl, but when the dark hits, I am just a genius. It feels like
really?
all of my creativity comes in the dark. So yeah, I've always, since I was a little kid, I've been a night owl. I feel like maybe when the world stops is when I can get the most work done.
So how the hell have you been on a farm for as long as you have? That's the worst job ever for you.
You're right. Yeah, it was pretty tough when I was getting up at 5.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was like, oh yeah, wrestling, I don't have to get up as early.
Strictly night work. It's fine.
Yes, it's only on the weekends and at night. So that was definitely, yes, check that off.
Yeah.
But no, I do get up early and do what I got to do. Some days like I said, I have a lazy day, but if it was my choice, I would do everything at night.
Fair enough. That's really funny. So I like to wrap up every episode with my 10 tailor-made questions. It's kind of a speed round, but don't feel rushed into your answers. You ready to go?
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Name one beauty product you cannot live without.
Ooh, mascara.
Are you brand specific or just mascara?
No, I'm a blonde, so if I don't put on mascara, you can't see any hairs.
Yeah. And you just look like a chicken with their feathers plucked out.
Right. Exactly.
What is your favorite exercise?
Ooh, any abs? Maybe like side bends. I like those. Get those obliques going.
Yeah. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, biggest pet peeve. Today it's dirty floors. I like walking barefooted, but I don't like things, like if there's dirt tracked in or something, I don't like things on the bottom of my feet. So yeah. Dirty floors. We'll say that for today.
That's good. I like that. I support that. Who is your celebrity crush?
Ooh, celebrity crush. Oh man, I never think about that. We'll say Ryan Reynolds for the heck of it because he's a cutie, and I like his work. He does such a great job acting. All of his movies A+.
He's so sweet and funny, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Like he seems like genuine, and he's like legit funny and great. So I like him. We'll go with him.
I like it. Okay. Do you have a secret vice like drinking a glass of wine in the shower?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
that a lot. So I actually also live, there's a winery, like my boyfriend has a winery. So yes, nice. We'll go with that. Drinking wine more than I should for, workout sake. Like I can eat well, but the wine, it's going to happen. So we'll say the
lovely. Fair. Okay. Well, that answers what is your drink of choice. So double check. Good. What's your boyfriend's winery? Do you want to plug it at all?
Sure. Windy Wine Company in Osborne, Missouri. So it's fantastic wine. If I ever get to see you, I will bring you some because it's so good.
Beautiful.
It's so good. Yes.
Okay. What wrestler has the best entrance music?
Ooh, the best entrance music. You know what? I've always liked Triple H's for some reason. Like I'll just listen to it. I know that's the game.
I like it. No, you know what? I think those like really classic ones where you know who it is within the first like 2 seconds. Those are the best entrance songs.
Obviously, like Stone Cold is like, I think the ultimate, but I've always liked Triple H's too. So
those are two solid choices.
Yes.
Who is your favorite band or artist?
Oh, my favorite band. We'll go with we'll say Leonard Skinner because I like Freebird.
That's so weird. I was like, I don't know why, but I think she's going to say Leonard Skinner. And there you go. Came right out of your mouth. Tell me about your most embarrassing moment in the ring. And we've had everything. Clothing malfunctions, botches. You tell me.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of. I've luckily never had any sort of like clothing malfunction.
Good.
I don't know like how far you want to go in this. I was in the middle of an intergender match.
Yep.
And
you can tell me anything.
That time of a month just happened to. And, I'm like, all right, well, we got to go home.
Oh, no.
So that's probably, And so luckily I won the match. And like, it was kind of like all right, deuces. I got to go. Don't raise my hand, ref. I got to get to the back.
What color was your gear?
Luckily it was black, but,
good.
It was an intergender match, and I didn't want to freak anybody out because if it was a girl, they'd be like, "Oh, I understand," but guys are kind of weird about it. So,
I know. Deanna Perrazzo, she was it was in the performance center, and I think she was just training, and she got her period, and unbeknownst to her, and she had like little shorts on, and they were not black, they were light, and. Yeah, what do you do, right? Like, what do you do? You fucking, I am woman, hear me roar. Sorry.
Yeah.
The end. Go
you just
cry.
hit that finisher and go. That's what I did. I'm like, all right, take this power bomb. I got to get to the back.
Where can our listeners find you on the interwebs? What are your socials? Do you have a website? Anything like that?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all under Miranda Gordy. So super easy to find me if you type it in.
Good. Okay, last question. Finish this lyric. Big wheels keep on turning.
Proud
Carry
Mary,
me.
keep on burning. Oh,
Yes!
yes!
Both. I'll take both. Both are right.
Okay.